Yo, what up? It's your boy, One JJ Stone, aka O Doctor, and welcome to another episode of IQMZ Tech. So, a couple of things. First of all, today has been a terrible day for me. I woke up early, I did another show, I had a guest, and the recording went wrong. It ended up being a problem on my end. I've tried to record this show twice, and it's just messed up. And man, sometimes you just gotta reboot, walk away, step back, and that's what I've done. So hopefully this episode turns out great. If it craps out, I'm not doing it again. So you'll never see this and it won't matter to you. But starting from now on, when I start doing these IQMZ texts, I think I'm going to tell you guys what I bought this week and share it with you guys. So the tech thing I bought, and it's not always going to be a tech thing. It'll just be whatever I bought and spent money and wasted money on because, you know, we always spend the money. I did get this DJI Mini 3 gimbal. I have the DJI 3 Pro, and I'll do a review video on that. I've been playing with it for a week, and I'll talk about that in a review. But the other thing that I bought that I'm more excited about, silly enough, is this mop system. Okay, now I'm a single dad, and I use a steam mop because I basically just have to put water in it, and it cleans my floor good enough. Afterwards, I go through and I either like spray down some Pine Sol, and I have like a regular little crappy dollar mop, and I just wipe the floor down just to make everything smell good. But I know you've seen this mop on TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, wherever. And women are just, well, not women, people, because I've seen men do it. And I'm a man, I'm talking about it. So people are just doing all kinds of things with this mop system. Now, first of all, is a cedar mop, whatever. I'll put a link in the description. It'll probably be affiliated. But make sure you get the mop system because they have this where it wrings out the thing and you pump it with your foot. But all the dirty water is the water that you're getting back in. This one has an insert where you keep the water, the clean water separate from the dirty water. And I think that this company is smart and watch TikToks because I saw a lot of people before this system was added onto this bucket. We're just using a separate container for clean water and saying, oh, look, if you put this bucket inside of this, you could do that. So now they got the system and all those, whatever. But I'm telling you all this because again, I am just a guy out here living the dream, not knowing what's going on in the world. And I saw this and I'm like, I don't need that. I got a steam mop. My steam mop gets everything clean. But now I have this office and I've repainted my house with darker walls. And between like, you know, clean up the cobwebs and stuff like that, I don't smoke, but with the darker walls, I am getting dust. And I saw someone do this system and clean their walls with like a little bit of Dawn soap and something else. And I was like, that's what I need this for. So I got this mop system. I mopped the floor twice with it. I had fun with this mop. I think I just like pumping the little wheel and wringing it out because it was cool. And just having the clean water and the dirty water side. Again, when I did use a regular mop, we all do it. You just get a bucket and you mop and you wipe around. And I'm like, oh, that's dirty. But this is clean. This is key. This Cedar mop system, go ahead and get yourself one. You'll be excited. You'll be happy. I think I talked too much about this, but those are the two things that I bought that were notable this week. And yeah, I love this mop. So let's talk about, I'm going to talk about Apple today too. It's just so for the Apple people, but I'm going to do Apple last because, you know, everybody cares about Apple. Apple will give me a couple of extra views. Like I'll get 6 views this week instead of 4. But otherwise, what's going on in tech in the world today? Bank of America is out here stealing money. Why do you still have a Bank of America account? I used to use them as my business account and I got rid of them a long time ago. You know, they've had a whole lot of problems with racial insensitivity, and they've messed up things with people all the time. I had a little racial thing going on with me with my business account because they didn't think that I owned my account that I had for 3 years, and they gave me a whole to do about getting my money out. So I just switched out of them. I didn't even post about it on the internet. I just said, hey, I'm taking my money, got my money out of there, and now they've just been going downhill. But today, a lot of people woke up with no money in their account and negative bank accounts. And of course, as I go through Twitter, it seems like a lot of people of ethnic descent are the ones on here complaining. And of course, their systems are down, so they can't respond to people with tech support or anything like that because they don't want to deal with it. But it's affecting a lot of people. And their online response is saying that the Zelle transactions you made from the 14th to the 17th may have delayed overcrowing, blah, 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 costs and transactions. But a lot of people are like, I didn't even make any transactions with Zelle. And people are losing thousands and thousands of dollars when they might have only used Zelle for maybe $100. So there's some kind of glitch going on. Obviously, the internet is having a good old time. But Bank of America is trash. If you're still banking with Bank of America, I have no idea what you're doing. Personal experience directly. Do not bank with Bank of America. Secondly, what I do, people always ask me like, because I always got little sneak tips on everything I do. I have one bank account that I use for when I use Cash App, Venmo, any of those things. I actually don't use Zelle. I don't like Zelle at all. If I use Zelle, they go through one of my credit cards, and I can just use it like a one-time thing through the credit card when somebody demands that I use Zelle because that's all they have. But I don't like Zelle. That's no reference to any of them because all of them will take your money and do the same thing. Um, anyway, pro tip: I have one bank account that is literally just for internet stuff. When I want to buy something online, when I need to do a transaction, when I need to use a Cash App, that's all this bank account's for. It literally has $150 in savings, which is like a minimum, and it keeps me from overdraft charges because if something comes up short with like $4 or something, I'll just take it out of my savings. But otherwise, I don't use that account for anything except for online purchases and, like I said, Cash App or Venmo transactions. And when I do those transactions, I get that money into that account. I directly take it in and put it into another bank account. So if you're worried about that, if you're skeptical about that, if you're one of those people that doesn't like to use those systems, bank accounts are pretty much free everywhere. They're just trying to give you an account, and they don't even have minimums in a lot of places anymore. So if you could just get yourself a separate account, it saved me countless times because I travel a lot from people getting my card and trying to use it and take money out of it. Because I also use it when I travel. When I travel, I put the certain amount of money in there that I need for what I'm doing, and I'll transfer money in and out. But if somebody goes to hit it, they're not hitting my main bank account with most of my money in it. And where do I bank at with most of my money? I have a federal credit union that I use. Credit unions are the jam. Um, I also use Capital One because they're an online bank. So, do what you want, but get out of Bank of America. If you're in Bank of America is trash. But yeah, if you got the time, make sure you go by and check out the memes and the frustration. Yeah, they done fucked up. So yeah, just so you know, Bank of America just sucks. I'm sure they'll get it resolved. I'm sure people will get their money back, but just know that Bank of America is a trash panda. Now let's move over to the big time, big show, big money. Let's go idea thing. Now Apple just dropped a whole bunch of stuff. They just did a press release basically because there's just incremental upgrades and things basically. But we do have a new Mac Mini. I'm going to talk about that, which is overdue. We didn't haven't had a new one since 2020. So that's new. All that stuff's upgraded and fun. And new laptops, M2 chips, exciting. Now, I have never been a HomePod person. The price has always been the problem for me. 299 for this seems like a lot. Like if it was 199, I would probably jump all over this. I'd buy two of them. $600 seems like it's a lot. That being said, um, I think I might actually switch over to using HomePod system. I know what I said earlier. I'm a walking contradiction. Follow me. I'm going to check out the sound. If the sound is better, my daughter's really becoming an audiophile right now. She loves music. She loves listening to it at full blare. Like she's in the living room with the surround sound and the sub going, and she's just rocking out the house. And I would get her one of these, the larger one for her bedroom, and then I might get one large one for like the living room, and then get smaller ones to put all around the house, just to be able to do that sync music thing because we do that with Amazon products, and it is fun. Just like some days like we're cleaning or we're just hanging out, and we don't want to watch TV, and we're just listening to music, and we both chime in and switch up playlists and things like that. Like we'll just have a lazy day, or when it's raining, we'll just play like slow jams and just be chilling out playing video games or something. So if the sound is jumping, I'd give this to her and put it in her room so she could like fill her room because I do believe in spatial audio and Apple has figured that out about feeling the size of the room. The surround sound system I have, Dahani, I can't even say what it is, but it does a great job because it's filling the room and making the sound come from where it's supposed to come from. And I believe Apple has a lot of great technology with that from their headphones and their laptops and there's just all the things they do with audio. So I might get one. And if I get one, I might as well convert over to everything else. Pro tip on that kind of thing, if you're worried about devices listening to you, I have all of my devices hooked up to um, like a wall. Like I use the Amazon plug, and basically I turn them on and off when I don't want anything listening to me, and when I want to use them, I turn them on. Speaking of that, my daughter's asked me to come pick her up. I told you it's hard for me to get through a show today. Something in the universe is going against me, and that's okay. So let me just tell her she wants me to pick her up from school. So yeah, I might get her that, and I might get it, and it'll be cool. Then moving on to the new MacBook Pros and their M2 chips. If you have an Intel laptop, go get one of these laptops. If you have an M1, then the 20% jump and extra hour of battery life isn't going to matter to you. The only thing that is super duper exciting is now the ability to go and uh get the better processor, right? 96 gigs of RAM in a laptop from Apple, as usually they're capped off at 64. Now, I want to talk about it in a second, but I have a PC that I built with 128 gigs of RAM. It's a beast, blah, blah, blah. But my main machine right now is the Mac Studio Ultra and 128 gigs of RAM, and it's maxed out. But before I have that, I had the 16-inch MacBook M1 Pro Ultra, whatever it was, and it has 64 gigs of RAM in it. 96 gigs of RAM in a laptop, it's about time. Now you've got to do a lot of upgrades to get that because you've got to have the maxed out 12 core, 38 core GPU. And if again, unless you are someone who needed that kind of memory and you have an M1, I'm sure whatever M1 you bought is working out fantastic for you because they are amazing machines and they do chew through most of the work that anybody needs and wants. But I will say that this is so attractive having 96 gigs unified memory in this thing. I just bought the new M2 MacBook Air, and you just got 32 gigs of RAM in it because I use it as like a typing machine basically just to run around the house or when I'm traveling to have some be able to do some things. But that's the most impressive thing in here, being able to jump up to 96 gigs of RAM. Everything else, whatever. It's like I said, you're getting 20% more power if you've already got an M1, but if you've got an Intel, just go ahead and upgrade to whatever one that you already need. The like I said, 20% more power. Nothing big. This isn't that exciting. I know people are going to make videos about this and drool all over it and everything like that and do all the bench tests and stuff like that, but it's not that big a deal. That's why it was a press release and they didn't do their whole stand up and or clap for me kind of thing. That's why it didn't happen. Then though, finally, Mac Mini. Now, when it came to M1, I had just built a new PC, and this PC, I feel bad for you, baby. I'm so sorry that Daddy treats you the way he does because I spent a lot of money. I put it together myself, and it is a beautiful machine. It does everything that I wanted it to do when I built it. I think I had it running up for like 6 or 7 months before Apple announced this M1 stuff, and I had somebody give me a Mac Mini, and I used that as my foray, and it was cool. It was great, but again, I had already advanced past that. I shoot some stuff in 8K. I'm shooting high quality 4K. You know, I've got a R5, so my picture files are huge. Like, so the Mac Mini was great, but I looked at it just to play with it, just to see, so I could talk about it and know something about how M1 was working, and it was impressive. It was vastly faster than my Mac Mini Intel, and I was like, I could see where they were going with that. And then once the laptops came out and everything, and more things became more powerful, I could see that M1 had value. But I didn't really care about this Mac Mini, and I couldn't even recommend it to anybody because even though the price is cheap, you just know that something better is coming, and this is something better. Now, for those who are like, I can get the Mac Mini Pro and it'll be a studio killer, it will not. So let's just go. Let's just go right to the big dog again. If you've got anything Intel, this is going to be a jump and a bump above. And if you've got the original Mac Mini, this is also a jump and a bump above. And if it's been 2 years for you, you might as well upgrade to these because the price is inexpensive and you are going to see a difference with the new GPUs and things like that. But let's go ahead and just max this out real quick because again, a kid wants me to come pick her up. I'm not worried about storage space. We'll go to just 2 TB storage space. So that's at 25. Oh, let's drop it down so I can keep it close. So this setup configuration is going to give you the basic price of a studio setup, but you're only at 32 gigs of RAM. That's again where it kills me. If you are a semi-professional or you're a photographer, like my buddy Stu, I would say get one of these. 32 gigs of RAM. If you're using Lightroom and Photoshop and you're not doing crazy stuff, you're just doing edits, this is a perfect machine for you. Then you could rack out and get 2 TB, and you'd be happy with this for a very long time. Um, I think this is a great machine. I think the value is great. It's just that it's not a studio. And the one thing that's different, the other thing that's different, not one thing, is the studio comes with a 10 gigabit Ethernet port. You can upgrade this for $100. And the other thing that, only thing that makes me mad, oh, I forgot about that because I'm talking quick because I'm going to get the kid. I apologize for this episode today. I told you my day is messed up today. Roll with me, stick with me. I'm trying to do the best I can to get back on doing accuracy tech because people like his to be talking about tech and ranting about stuff. 2 things. This is what happens when you have a good memory. You kind of glance over things. The gigabit Ethernet port is different on this, but the new Mac Minis on all of them and the new MacBook Pros have the updated HDMI 2.1 and the upgraded Bluetooth and Wi-Fi 6. So Wi-Fi 6, I give a shit about. The Bluetooth, I could really give a shit about. I don't know, unless I'm on Bluetooth 2.0, I can't really tell the difference in Bluetooth. Bluetooth is pretty good right now, all across the board. But that HDMI, now I'm not doing 8K monitors, but I would like to be maxed out on my refresh rate on 4K. I'd like to have that 240 hertz instead of the 60 hertz. That's needed. That'd be sexy. That's making me a little upset about my $5,000, $6,000 Mac Studio that I got, but I'm not complaining because I love this thing and you do a good job, baby. Daddy loves you. But that's annoying. That is annoying. But it is updated on your laptops and the Mac Mini. So yay you, if you're in the market to get one and you want to go buy one, I would suggest you do if you have something that's Intel. If you got something that's Intel, I feel sad for you. I'm also an AMD guy and I don't like Intel at all, so don't listen to me wholeheartedly on that. But M2, where it's at, you probably got 16 months before M3 comes out. So if you're going to buy and you don't want FOMO, buy it right now. Don't sit around for 6 months, 8 months, a year and say, oh, I'm going to do it. Just go get it. Unless you're broke and you got to save it for it. Then, and all by all means, do what you got to do because I fully understand and I'm on board with that. But you can get the entry level, jump in here at $599, and you know what I mean. Let's go ahead and upgrade this just a little bit. The $599, $599 only gets me up to 24 gigs of RAM. I really want minimum 32 gigs of RAM in anything that I own anymore, unless it's a tablet. But 24 gigs, that gets you, that's $1,000. And oh God, you only got 256 hard. See, this is what Apple does. Apple should not have anything with 256 gigs in it. It's like when they have the laptops with 128. Like, you can't live like this. This is America. I have content. We are content creators. We are consumers. No. Trash Panda, need 512. So now you're 1200. But you can also go on and pretend you're a student. Oh, and the other thing too, I'm sure it's on here somewhere. Go get the M1 Mac Mini. It's got to be $100 cheaper. It's got to be less expensive. See, cops are out here. This episode, I am so apologetic today. Again, there's something in the universe against me. I apologize. But go find the and the ports. It's got more ports on the Pro. You'll see it. You've looked at it. You listen to me. You already know the deal. You just want my opinion on things. You already know the specs. If you're a tech person, you know better. But go get a discount on M1 stuff. I'm sure it's like $100 or $150 cheaper because Apple never really has anything go on sale. But you can go get some stuff that's old technology that's not old because M1 is still bumping, and I approve and I appreciate it and I love it and I like it. Normally, this is where you say if you stuck around this far, like and subscribe. But if you don't want to, I fully understand. I've been a trash panda today, but I'm not going to come back and do it again. I'm not going to try again. When I click the end this button and it's over and it doesn't work, it's just over. And that's just the way it's going to be. That's just the way it's going to be. I am your boy, Owen JJ Stone, aka O Doctor. And thank you. I apologize that I was talking fast. Very frustrated today. If you've been frustrated, let me know. If you bought anything this week, that's it. If you bought anything this week, leave me a comment on what you bought. I might want to buy it too. I'm impulse buyer like that. When somebody tells me they got something cool and I go look it up and it looks cool and it's reasonably in my budget, I go get it. But you go get that mop. I'm telling you, if you ain't got it, go get that mop. If you mopping, get that mop. It's worth it. And I cleaned the walls with it. It was nice. It was nice. I didn't know you were supposed to clean the walls. I never knew that. TikTok and the reels taught me that. Clean your walls, especially when they're black and they're ashy. Put some lotion on your wall. I'm leaving. Where's the button? The button's over here. All right. Have a good day. Bye.